right, let me go back to right. Synthesized Drug was my first official release back in 2020. This was released on Botanica Records. The idea was simple. I wanted to create something hypnotic, and all this came out from the time when everybody, I think, pretty much everyone all over the world were sitting at home. COVID had hit. There was nothing else to do, and people wanted a way to get out without getting out, if you know what I mean. And for me, spending 24 years as a DJ, uh, playing all over the place, playing in Europe, playing in Bombay, playing in Dubai, and it made a lot of difference because I couldn't sit in one place. Now, I know I couldn't go out physically, so I wanted to go out mentally, but how do I do that? So I always had a thing for production and making music, and that's where I decided that I have time at my hand. I have whatever I need, so I might as well start it, and that's where Synthesized Drug was born. It was more about a feeling to release, get out of um, the entire dull, dark moment that the whole world was in. And yes, that's where synthesized duck came from. In fact, if you look at the name itself, it was never about synthesized drug. It was synthesized drug, um, and I sent it to the label, and the label accepted it, and I ran with the typo, and that's how it was released. Interesting. Um, so when I first made this track, and the synthesized drug was being made, the whole track was never about substance. It was never about the drug itself. It's about the sound itself being a drug, and the repetition and the acid textures, that slow mental takeover, is a feeling that is a drug in itself, and that is what I wanted to portray to the people. That substances are not the only thing that can give you a high. You have synthesized drug, of course. Even the name itself says drug, but it is the sound that we're talking about. It's the music that we're talking about. And techno is at the end of the day uh, a drug in itself. So that's why the name. It's raw, it's acid driven. So a few years ago, before I actually made this track, I had visited Berlin, and techno was born in Detroit, but the way it was carried forward, the way it was conceived in Berlin was completely different. The culture there is phenomenal, and I think moving around the clubs, moving around people in Berlin is what defined the sound. There is a certain chaos in Berlin, and it's still a controlled chaos, I would say. And I think that's where the sound is more driven with the culture of Berlin perceived techno. And I focused on that particular controlled chaos tension, and that's what defined the sound of this track.
Not only closer with yourself, but with everybody, this sort of love, peace type. And I really wanted to find out if this.
So yeah, first things first, it was the foundation of my journey as a producer. Um, it was my first step into the scene of music production, of making a genre like techno, which we grew up to. Everything I produce today has the same kind of thought process. It has a discipline, it has an exact amount of darkness, a hypnotic drive, and that's what started with synthesized drug, and that's what it means to me today. So yeah, you guys, if you guys want to listen to it, I am on Spotify, of course, and if you think If you want to give it a try, Synthesized Drug is available on all streaming platforms. And go ahead and check out my track in my own. Yeah. Just thanks. Take care.